subject that is chosen today is very, very critical and very important for the very survival of India's democracy, particularly so for minority communities like us. So I thought, since you have given me enough time, I will take you through the entire process briefly. I can't do it extensively because it's an ocean. I'll briefly take you through the electoral process that India has adopted as a vibrant democracy more than 75 years ago. See, briefly put, Indian democracy is an electoral democracy based on the universal adult franchise, that every adult, otherwise not disqualified, who attained the age of 21, now it is 18, has a vote, one person, one citizen, one vote. That's a basic fundamental principle, because as soon as India's constitution was adopted in 1950, Indians became from subjects to citizens. There's a critical difference which many people do not know even now. So let me take a few minutes to explain what is the difference between subject and now. Almost all of you might have been born only after 1945 or 1950. I am the one who was born before that. There may be one or two. Before that, those who were born were subjects. We were either subjects of the British regime or subjects of the Maharaja. So, as subjects, you have no rights. You just have to obey the orders of the government, whether it is the king or the queen or the emperor or whatever. Whereas citizen, it is completely the other way around. It is the citizen who makes the government by exercising of his or her franchise, and is the government has to obey the citizen. Look at the difference. And what makes this difference? It is that vote. It's something called the vote, the adult franchise. Once you realize the importance of the adult franchise, tragedy is that our educational system was so defective that nobody told, because I was, when India became independent and when it became a republic, I was just emerging as a school student and then going on to become college student and then going on. But nobody ever told us that you are a citizen, you are the one who make the governments, and we continued our mentality of subject. There's not much of a difference between slaves and subjects. Only that slaves are not handcuffed. But this tragedy of not informing the people, not educating the people, has cost us very dearly. Even now, 95% of Indians feel they are subjects. I'll tell you a small instance. I belong to Kanyakumari district. I belong to Nagarkoil. I used to live there for some time. Now I don't live there now. And I had gone to address one of the leading women's college in Nagarkoil. I explained the subject, and everyone was quite surprised. And at lunchtime, the principal came to me and whispered in my ear, "Sir, I never knew about it. First time, principal of a women's college where about 5,000 students study did not know the difference between subject and citizen." It is because of this tragedy that India's democracy is going to dogs. Now, coming to the electoral system. India's electoral system is built into the Constitution of India, Article 324. There shall be an election commission of India which will monitor, supervise, and control the electoral process. Now, India's election system is centralized with the Election Commission of India with full autonomy, statutory and plenipotentiary powers, and the election is conducted through the administrative machinery. Administrative machinery means we have the Chief Election Commissioner, the election commissioners in Delhi, Then every state has got a chief electoral officer, IAS officers. Invariably, all these are IAS officers. Every state has got a chief electoral officer, and then election is actually conducted at the district level. The district collector, who is another IAS officer. District collector is also district election officer. He is also the returning officer, and below him the other RDOs, DROs, sub-collectors, they become deputy election officers, electoral registration officers, and assistant returning officers. This is a structure. And the directions and manuals are issued by the Election Commission of India. Now, coming to the India's electoral system has two basic components. One is the voting system. One is the voter list. I will come to SIR. SIR concerns the voter list. Unless I briefly tell you about the voting system, I have to link it with the voter list, which is important, so that you understand what is the connection between these two. The voting system earlier, during our time, and some of you, was it both paper ballot. You go to the polling booth, a paper ballot is given to you, you look at the candidate's name, symbol, you stamp it, put it in a ballot box, and that is counted in front of people, open and transparent. Everyone knew about it. Starting from the late 90s, electronic voting machine was introduced. Since then, there is no paper ballot. You go to the polling booth, there's a machine. The list of the candidate's name is there and the symbol is there, and the presiding officer presses a button, a light bleeps, you press a button, a light bleeps, and you go away. You don't even know, and there is a small slip comes out now. You can see the slip and go back. But you are not sure whether your vote has been registered. You have not seen it with your own eyes. Something in the machine is recorded, and then counting also you don't really know. So, though technology has brought in the basic understanding, the consider called democracy principles. Democracy principles means a voter, because as I told, the citizen is a sovereign. Sovereign is the one who is giving his or her powers for 5 years to her elected representatives. So the sovereign should know, that is the fundamental democratic principle. The sovereign should know that her vote was recorded as intended. Cast as intended, recorded as cast, and counted as recorded. But this is not happening in the EVM. You don't know. You just press a button, after that you vanish. So these are highly defective. We have been taking up this issue. Every other democracy in the world has gone back to the paper ballot. India is sticking on to the paper ballot because you can indulge in huge fraud. Now, sir, I'm coming, this electoral roll is also linked to that. I'm coming to that now. Now, this EVM is facilitating large-scale fraud, spurious injection of votes without your knowledge, because it's a machine. It can be operated remotely. Votes can be added and results manipulated. This has happened in 2019 Parliament election, 2024 Parliament election, in Haryana election, in Maharashtra election. Now we also suspect in the Bihar election. All you have to do is a few hundred votes, few thousand votes here and there. You just win, that's all. So the basic voting system under EVM is a highly defective and fraudulent system, which we have been telling them, go back to the paper ballot. Election Commission is refusing to do so, because in paper ballot, yes, you can do some minor frauds, maybe a few tens and 50s, 100 votes, but you can't do large-scale manipulation. You can win a few booths, you can win 1 or 2 constituencies, but large scale, like it happened in Maharashtra Now it has happened in Bihar. BJP, with all this anti-incumbency, has a strike rate of 90%. Can you believe it? Strike rate of 90%. 100 fellows contest and 90, they win 90 seats. Same happened in Maharashtra also last year. Pure manipulation. Then we worked out the calculation. Whereas Congress party, their rival in Maharashtra, their strike rate was 15%, 15%. And Bihar, it was 10%. It can't be like that. It is like a Russian election. It is more or less now like Russian election in Vladimir Putin election, 90%, 95%. So I don't want to go into detail because this webinar is meant basically for SAR. I'll come to the voter list. Now, before that I'll say, because of this fraud, why it takes place is, the voting system has got three basic components. One is the microprocessor, the memory in the voting machine, where when you press the button, your vote is recorded in the memory. Your vote is recorded in the memory. That is a microprocessor. Even now, no one knows who manufactures the microprocessor. Highly secret. Only some fellows in the government in control, they know it. And they are refusing to give the source code. Our sector in the our civil society experts have repeatedly requested them, please tell us the source code so that we can also verify the genuineness and integrity of the machine. But they refuse. So microprocessor integrity is doubtful. Then there is a small mouse-like machine called symbol loading unit, where symbol is downloaded from the Election Commission's website and uploaded in the EVM. That is another mischievous kind of machinery. No one knows what is inside. Our experts say you can manipulate that and introduce kind of a fraudulent kind of thing, so it can be manipulated from outside. So third is the VVPAT, voter verifiable paper audit trail. In order to have some verification, some audit, they brought in this VVPAT in 2019. There the slip is, so you must have seen the slip. It is shown to you and the slip drops down. The natural corollary is that this slip also should be counted, so that the audit is complete. And they are refusing to count this. They say they are showing that slip to you, but they will not count. So because of this inherent flaws in the EVM system, the EVM system is highly doubtful. I use the word weaponization. India's voting system has been weaponized. Once India's voting system has been weaponized, then you come to the feedstock, the voting list. Voting list is the feedstock. Per se, voting list alone cannot manipulate elections. Voting system alone cannot win elections. It must be fed into the machine and then counted in the machine, and only then you can declare the results. So what is this voters list? One of the most essential requirement of the voting election system is you must have a error-free, inclusive voters list. So this has been going on from 1952 onwards, and they have been doing it in a manual manner. And there has been, of course, there's a large electorate like India. There is bound to be mistakes. There's bound to be error. So there is to be checking, verification, cross-verification. So there are three types of revision: intensive revision, summary revision, annual revision. Before every election, the revision takes place. Then the BLO, the block level, the booth level officer goes house to house, verify, and then enter into the. So even if there were some flaws in the electoral roll, it was small, maybe a few hundred, few 10. Now, after the advent of technology, that is sometimes the in 2010 or something like that. They introduced the software and all kind of thing. So this has become a mass scale. See, technology which has been brought in order to facilitate democracy has become the enemy of democracy. Because sitting in a far corner, without anyone knowing, without anyone's knowledge,
Sorry, you have muted. Please unmute.
okay, are you okay now? Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, now you must have heard Rahul Gandhi giving presentations about how genuinely they have been manipulating the list, and in bulk, in thousands, in lakhs. In one constituency in Karnataka, he said there was a fake voters of 1,05,000. All these are possible because of the introduction of technology. Now, and also secondly, there's no transparency. Now, India today in 2024 election, the total voter list of India was 98 crores. 98 crores is the combined population of the democratic world. The combined population of the democratic world is equal to the voting population of India. So in such a huge scale, there's bound to be mistakes. There's no doubt about it. But this software was brought in order to see to it that these duplication, deduplication, and errors, additions does not take place, and it stand corrected and minimized. 1 or 2, maybe 10, 15 mistakes you can always permit. You can't be 100% perfect. But here you find massive, and that too in a selective basis. So now the question is, earlier, I am going to now give you a very important point now. Earlier, all this mischief, fraud, all these nuisances been created from outside. Vested interests, corrupt, antisocial, maybe some political parties. Now, I am extremely constrained to say that it is being done with the full knowledge of the Election Commission of India. Because people like us, the Election Commissioners are all way junior to people like us. And we have our sources of information that comes in from what is happening inside the Election Commission. For the last 5, 6 years, they have completely sealed the Election Commission. It has no access to people from civil society. Even political parties can't go there. And sitting inside, they are causing havoc. And these people have become subservient to the political masters, and they listen only to what the political masters say. So they will tamper the system. They will manipulate the system in such a manner that they keep on winning. And now they have started doing it brazenly. Now I'll tell you a specific example before coming into Sir. I'll have to tell you the importance of that. 2024 Parliament election, we have a strong team of technical and statistical experts. I am coordinating the entire efforts actually at the national level, and we went and studied the voting system and voting numbers, voter turnout. What we found a pattern that after the polling is over at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, the Election Commission releases a certain percentage of so much percentage people have voted, 65%, 63%, whatever. Then between that time and counting, they keep on revising. And to an absurd extent that in Orissa it was 12.5% difference. In Andhra Pradesh it was 12.4% difference between the numbers given immediately after the polling and the time the counting was done. I mean, normally in the era of technology, there should be no variation at all. Maximum allowed variation is 1%. Here we found in Orissa 12.5%, Andhra Pradesh 12.4%, Maharashtra 8%, Karnataka 7.4%, and like that every state more than 6%, 5%. And wherever this excess thing happened, the BJP ruling party won. In Tamil Nadu also there was a variation of 7.4%, but they did not win because the voting margin was huge. The voting margin was huge. So the point I am trying to make is this is called spurious injection of votes after the polling is over. So for that they manufacture these fake votes. Now you may ask, what's the use of having fake votes in the electoral roll? Fake votes in the electoral rolls are made to enable spurious injection of votes, so that, and then they take 1 month, 1.5 months for conducting the electoral process. And they want to finish up counting in a few hours. Rush. Anyone who has gone to the counting scenery, they will all rush it, declare the result, sign, and that is the end of the story. Done. Now you see what happened in Bihar. You can see it very clearly. They finished it up in a matter of couple of hours, and then they've declared it, and you see, look at the strike rate. 202 out of 243. I mean, this kind of democracy, and that too after 20 years of anti-incumbency. Maharashtra, such a fraud. The whole government was sold and bought. Still people voted for. Haryana. I mean, I don't want to keep on. So we made the study of Lok Sabha 2024, and we came out with 79 constituencies. 79 constituencies where the people's mandate was stolen. If that 79 constituencies gone to the other side, this BJP and company would have been sitting in the opposition. They did not cross even 200 actually. This is we studied Maharashtra. We studied Haryana. Same pattern. Spurious injection of votes. First, create a fake voter list, then spurious injection of votes, because of because it is all done through machines. We really do not know from where it is being done, how it is being done. So they then manufacture the results. So now, instead of mandate of the people, election results are being manufactured. Earlier, they used to purchase votes. Now they are also manufacturing votes. In order to manufacture votes, they create a fake voter list. Now coming to SIR. With all this happening, Election Commission should have been extremely careful in designing an SIR, if at all they wanted to do a special intensive revision. Actually, there is no provision for special intensive revision in any law. There's provision only for summary revision and intensive revision. And they should have thought it out, did detailed discussion with the people, with the civil society, with the political parties. See, there are 3 stakeholders. All the 3 stakeholders, among the stakeholders, voters are the most important. They are the mandating stakeholders. Political parties are the beneficiary stakeholders. Election Commission is a facilitating stakeholder. They should have held detailed discussions, evolved a process, evolved a system, and then drafted rules and regulations, providing for verification, providing for audit, and then come out with the SIR. They did not do anything of that sort in Bihar. They just declared it, next day it started to work. Like a machine. Enumeration forms being by. Now, from Bihar also they have learned nothing. And one most cardinal critical thing that they have done, which I would say a fraud, which will impact the minorities very badly. See, basically, it is the responsibility of the Election Commission of India to do the enumeration, do the door-to-door checking, prepare the list, and present it and make it into a voters list, electoral roll. It is not for the citizen to go run around. Oh, please put me in the vote, put it over the list. That has been the pattern. Now they have completely reversed it. Now what they have done is the SIR intrinsically, they are not killing you, but they are prompting you to commit suicide. Understand the importance. Election Commission is not killing you, but they are creating a situation in which you are forced to commit suicide. Or the enumeration form. You have seen the enumeration form. I don't want to go into detail. That you have to go for detailed workshops. There are people who can brief it on that. The enumeration form itself is so difficult to understand for common man. A well-educated person can do it. And most of the common people don't even know how to do it. Somebody else, they may make a mistake. So, and a large percentage of people will not be able to fill up the form. They may not be available, and they will not be giving back the enumeration form. And they don't have the documents, the so-called document they are asking for. You are supposed to give it after the draft list is published, and they can say tomorrow, Election Commission will say, see, we provided everything. We gave enumeration forms. We asked the BLO to go house to house. We facilitated online. How many people can do online? You only did not give the enumeration form. So you are out. You are disenfranchised. So you have committed suicide yourself. So this exercise, we look at it that as a abetment to suicide. So, but now I think people have become vigilant. In spite of all the vigilance, large-scale deletions are taking place because, see, deletions and additions have got special provisions in law. Representatives of People's Act, and the rules clearly lay down how votes are to be deleted, how votes are to be added. And there are Supreme Court judgments. None of this is being observed. This is a totally different system they're adopting now. SIR is a totally different system that's being adopted now. That was challenged in the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, the Supreme Court did not bother about asking this question. Where is your rule? Where is the law? It is illegal. There is no law. Go ahead. No, it's a good thing. You are purifying the list. So, Election Commission has got courage now. Supreme Court has approved it. So, they're going ahead. Even for this, after Bihar going to 12 states, including Tamil Nadu, Kerala, West Bengal, and some other states. Now, what they're saying is, hardly they have made any changes. The only change they made they made political parties more involved, more gave the responsibility to the political parties. So we have, in addition to BLOs, BLAs, booth level agents appointed by political parties. But political parties are only interested in their workers. Political parties are not interested in people who are not committed to their voters. In India, there are more than 40% non-committed voters. According to an analysis, only about 55-60% of people are committed to particular parties. There are 40% of electorate who will make their decision only at the time of election. depending upon their merit, the manifesto and other various issues involved. And who is going to guide them? So political parties are not the actual main stakeholders. It's the voter who is the main stakeholder. But voter is not even consulted. Civil society is not consulted. Election Commission treats them as enemies because civil society has a lot of intelligent people, educated people. People like us all belong to the civil society. They don't want to face us. They can't bully us, People like us cannot be bullied, whereas political parties can be bullied. Even chief ministers and big people, politicians, they bow to the election commission because they have to take favors from the election commission. We have no favors to take from the election commission. So, but unfortunately, so what now? Now I am coming to the most important part of my speech now. Okay, SIR has been ordered, work has started, enumeration forms have been distributed, work is going on, and I am told in some dioceses very actively people are being helped and assisted, particularly the place I belong to, the Kota diocese, the Kuluthura diocese. But I am told the rest of Tamil Nadu, hardly any work is taking place. I checked up. Only today they have issued a circular asking for a meeting on 22nd. They are discussing with people on 22nd. They have been sleeping for the last 2-3 weeks. All this they knew they should have taken steps well in time to put people on the job, to guide people, because vast majority of the people to earn their livelihood. They can't go around running around filling up forms. And fortunately, our Catholic Church has got an extremely good organizational system. We have NBMs, we have parishes, we have dioceses, we have this, we have that, we have institutions, we have schools, we have colleges. What are we using them for? Even in Madras Mylapore Archdiocese, they have only waken up, I am told. I saw a circular yesterday, today. They have called for a meeting on 22nd. They are losing precious time. So my one point for the people's communicators here is, immediately, even now there is still time. Another 2 weeks left. And then, of course, we can do work during the time when the draft list is out, between the time draft list is out and draft list is finalized. That is the time also, if there is any gap. So we should see to it that 100% enumeration takes place. And our organizational strength must be visible in seeing that 100% takes place. Second, which we are taking up as a major issue, that we are insisting on social audit. The draft list is going to be, this is an important point I am going to make. I think you must take it up as a campaign. The last date of the draft list is going to be published on the 9th of December. And final list will be by February. During this period, and if necessary, more time can be given, we are going to insist that there has to be a social audit. What is a social audit? Social audit is like this. We have village panchayats. We have ward committees. We have booth level kind of committees. So these ward under the Panchayat Raj, these ward committees and village panchayats and booth committees will assemble on a particular day. People will be there, the local people will be sitting there, who knows the locality very well, who is there, who is a voter, who is not a voter, who has gone and who has not gone. And the BLO will go there along with the list of that particular panchayat, maybe 1,000 votes, 1,500 votes. And in front of the assembly, he will read out loud. He will read out the name, address of each and every voter loud. and people sitting there, they will make the corrections. If some wrong name is included, they will say, no, so and so is not living anymore, or so and so has gone abroad, so and so has migrated away, so he is not there, he is not a voter. Remove him. And also they will say, so and so you have not included. That person is here for a pretty long time. He is a resident of, he is an ordinary resident of this place. Adding and alterations, and they will pass a resolution approving this list. Only then this list becomes final. That provision is available in the law, in various other projects, schemes also. Even in the election manual has got this, but these fellows have not included that. So there are two things that the minorities must do so that there is no manipulation of the votes, there is no vote chori. One is using our organizational strength to see that 100% enumeration takes place. Second, to see that before the list is finalized, the social audit takes place. I think we must make it into a campaign. This is a matter of life and death for the minorities. I am saying it because this deletions is not only imaginary. It's not just Rahul Gandhi speaking or so-and-so speaking or coming in the media. I have personally experienced it. I will conclude it by narrating the anecdote. People who are listening here from Kanyakumari district would know. Kanyakumari district, Nagargoil constituency, 2019 election took place. I was living there that time. Suddenly, in the coastal areas got about 1.8 lakh votes. Suddenly, people went to vote, and many people could not find their votes, names. They could not vote. This big commotion. By afternoon, my house was virtually flooded. I mean, is it what's happening? What's up? Fraud is going on. Fraud is going on. So I cooled them down and then said, let me find out. So on our preliminary inquiry, we found out, yes, lot of people, and tentatively about 35-40,000 votes have been deleted. They got deleted. No one knows how it was done. Then we found out that they had given a list, voters list, immediately after the candidates was finalized, and that every candidate had, political parties had. That was the one being circulated. These names were there in the list. The list given on the day of the last day of the nomination. But 3 weeks later, when the actual voting took place, the list was given to the presiding officers, which they used for voting. Their names were not there. The deletion has taken place during that time, that 3 weeks, 35-40,000. Maybe it could be even more, but it was estimated up to 72,000 in 5 assembly constituencies total together. So we were planning to ask for a re-election. We had a meeting. Then I called up the chief electoral officer of Tamil Nadu, chap called Sahu. I said, what is this? Are you aware of it? It's a very serious matter. He had no knowledge whatsoever. First I talked to the collector. Collector didn't give me a satisfactory answer because collector was always a doubtful character. The man had RSS background. He was from Maharashtra. I had my own suspicion about him. So chief electoral officer, he said he had no knowledge. I said, check up and let me know. It's a very serious matter. There will be riots otherwise. So he said, sir, please just give me a couple of days and I'll come back to you. 2 days later he called me. So you're right, sir. About 12,000 deletions have taken place, not 40,000. I said, even 12,000 is a big number. Even 12,000 is a big number. What are you doing about it? You have to investigate. So we filed a formal complaint. No investigation took place. Then we came to know my bad habit is I start digging in. Came to know there was a meeting a week before the actual voting day at the Kanyakumari Vivekananda Kendra, where RSS people attended and some election officials also attended. There they decided somehow or other we must make the BJP man win. So you got to do some heraferi. And they desperately, at random, deleted these words. And that is how this got deleted. So the point I'm making is, and all Catholic votes, all 35,000 was Catholic votes. So the point I'm trying to say is make is, this has happened. This can happen again. We got to be alert. We got to use our organizational strength. We got to go for stringent audit. We should not be passive. We should be aggressive. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. If there are any questions, I am willing to respond.
So, my dear friends, so at this hour, our Mr. Devasahayam IAS is ready. You can ask some of your doubts, and he has given a wonderful illumination on this particular SIR, sir, and what we have to do. Yeah, very, very strongly, he has come out and said what we have to do. Still, we are sleeping. So, what we have to do. So, you can ask, because he is the person, he has personal experience, very, very experienced person, and he has been working in this area. So you can talk to him and ask him what all you want to ask. You can unmute your mic and you can come out. Thank you.
Hi, sir. This is John Gomes from Toronto. I really apologize. Of course, I am not into this SIR for myself, but understanding the situation, and thank you so much for your nice seminar. What we want to say is there is still time, and we from the churches, the bishop house, and the higher authorities should go on very aggressively, as you said, in sending out the messages. We still have 15 days. And one request is that if we can request the election commission to extend to a certain time limit, because we came to know very late, so that people who still have not done the SR would get some privilege, and also especially those people, NRIs who are abroad. It is very important for all of us so that we can participate. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other question?
Come on, don't waste time. So very clear.
Yes.
Yeah, Tessie, like to ask some question?
Oh, no, Father. It's just really very clear, and the way sir explained, it's a quite relevant issues and how it's being brought out. It's quite scary, in fact, how the condition, right?
Yeah.
Tessie is the pet name of my daughter.
Oh.
I can see Father Rajamanikam, he is advocate. Father Rajamanikam, do you hear me? He is talking to someone. And Frank Krishner is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am speaking from Bihar, Patna, where I hope I can be heard clearly. Where we've just gone through an election with great participation and a lot of commitment from the lay people as well as from certain parishes. And even though we tried to be very vigilant, people found, especially in our particular diocese, that there were many, at least 4 or 5 people, their names, they helped others to register their names, and those names were on the roll. But the leaders, they found that their names had disappeared. And so this is what is happening. Right now, people in Bihar are in a state of shock because even in my area, people weren't expecting the person who has basically won to win, because the other person had a lot of support, but we were very surprised. So there are a lot of games being played, and yes, we'll have to try to find out how to get things done. Thank you. It was very, very enlightening talk.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay, I think the talk was really inspiring and very, very open, and explaining the historical way of understanding our citizenship, then the election, and what all the things, how the things are organized, particularly a very, very open explanation of the electronic methodology, what
No,
we,
Father,
Yeah.
one minute.
yeah,
I'll just respond to that question with
yes, sir.
extension of time.
Yeah,
That is not in our hands. As far as the election commission is concerned, we will do whatever we can, but we must go as if there's no extension. We must go within the limits. Secondly, I had requested Father Christu Rajamani and Mr. Franco Thomas. Franco Thomas is the active coordinator of these activities in Tamil Nadu. We have a very strong civil society group, and he is also a trainer. And he is another hardcore Catholic. And Christu Rajamani, I asked them to come. I'll ask them to say briefly what they have done so far, because Christu Rajamani, Father Rajamani is the one who's coordinating the efforts in Kotar and Kuluturai, which I am told is doing very well. And Franco Thomas is coordinating for the whole state for the civil society. I would request them to say a few words as to what they have done so far, and how would they like to guide the future efforts of other people who are participating here. First, I would request Franco Thomas to come out with what he has to say.
yeah.
Franco?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it can.
Yeah. Number one, as Devasahayam sir and many of the participants know, we organized a conclave, national conclave last month, going into all the issues related to integrity of the election process, and we have passed a Chennai declaration which is sent to the Election Commission and to the press also. And all those discussions are available in a separate website and YouTube channels that I can share later. Subsequently, we have been having meetings online with every district representatives and getting feedback. The things are very bad. Filling up the form, it's so sad that yesterday one of the retired High Court judge called me and said that, Franco, I am not able to fill up this form because my father and mother passed away so long ago. How do I get the details of their epic card, their booth number, their serial number in the voter roll which
There was no
existed?
there was no epicard at that time.
Then even his details he could not trace for 2002 electoral roll. So I guided him, and it is a very tough, difficult job to find these details of 2002 in the electoral rolls. That's one. But I have given few interviews to YouTube channels which are available. I have conducted few online trainings which is also available
as videos which everybody can use. The problem we are seeing in the ground is that number of people who are abroad, they are not able to access the site abroad. I think they have put up some restrictions, so they are not able to download the form and fill up. That is one issue. We have been writing to the Election Commission of India and the Electoral Office at Tamil Nadu. They don't bother. So I have already given in the chat some of the details, and I can share with uh, all my videos in which I have explained how these forms can be filled up, and I have also gone into the politics of SIR in the beginning. So that will be very useful if people want to train. And Kotar Diocese, I gave a training to the youth commission there. So they have formed a committee and they are assisting people on the ground. There are places where people have set up a kind of a war room where people sit with a computer and or a laptop and a mobile and download the forms or search these details and fill it up and all. That is happening, but it should be done all over. The latest information today is that yesterday, Kerala, there was a death of a BLO. He committed suicide. The family is saying that it is due to the pressure. And today, Rajasthan, one BLO has committed suicide. Again, due to work pressure, they are not given duty or relief. They are doing regular duty and also doing this BLO's job, and they are not trained properly. I have interacted with many BLOs. Their knowledge is very low, and they are low rank people. They are only called booth level officers. They are not officers. So they don't have much of knowledge. So today, Tamil Nadu, the Government Employees Association has declared that from tomorrow they will all go on strike. So this all may lead to some kind of a delay, and probably the date might get extended. But my appeal to everybody is that any number of training needed, I am willing to give training online, and in some places maybe physically also I can go. I have developed that expertise in that filling up the form and how to do the search and all. So that I am willing to do. So that's my offer and suggestion. And I once again the same appeal of MGD sir that we should not leave out even a single eligible person from enrolling into the voter roll. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John Thomas Franco. Thank you so much.
I think
Is there Father Rajamani?
Rajamani is there first.
Rajamani?
He said he will come.
Yeah, I saw him.
Or Wilson is there. You can say.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
Now
Father.
I want to ask one question. I am Father Wilson. Can
Yeah.
you hear or see?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now after speaking all this, again we are trying to we are speaking about enrolling our names in this, somehow enroll it. Or should we take other extreme position to boycott the whole thing? The whole the Christians in India should boycott, and also urge the opposition parties to boycott election instead of complying with their requests. What do you say?
Father, the boycotting is easily said than done. In such a complicated and diverse society, unless there is complete unity and it is a complete civil disobedience. You are talking about civil disobedience. I am a votary of civil disobedience. But civil disobedience to be effective has to be almost in one voice. At least 90% people should do it, so that it will have weight. If only 10% people do it, it will have no weight at all. We as Christians in Tamil Nadu, in India is about 2.5%. In Tamil Nadu is about 6-7%. It doesn't make any difference. We should instead go for 100%. With our organizational strength, it can be 100%. And see to it that we can vote till the last day, our voice is heard. So I am not in favor of boycotting, because it's not a practical solution.
Again, this is John Gomes from Toronto. I just wanted to have a suggestion, and thank you so much once more. And what we would suggest, because we are resembling what we say from West Bengal, because we have a lot of I would say place of point of contacts, especially with our churches, our parishes, and then we have schools, we have colleges. We can do like this online seminars where educational seminars about the SIR and how things are done. And we have opened up actually a WhatsApp group from among our Catholics all over the world, especially in West Bengal. If the Bishop House from Calcutta wants our expertise, definitely we will be there to cooperate. It's just about getting things done. We have another 15 days where we can make this impact. So I would request, I'm there to, volunteer. I will give all my time, and, it's very, very important. And yeah, that's all I would want to say. And special thanks to everybody on this panel. And we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.